Today we're going to be discussing integrated e-commerce solutions with Hybris. At this time, I'd like to kick things off by introducing myself. My name is Jennifer Rossi. I'm part of the Paymetric Solutions engineering team, and I'm going to be your speaker today. But we're going to talk specifically about e-payment challenges that companies are experiencing, how we simplify e-commerce payments specifically within the Hybris platform, security around payment solutions on e-commerce platforms, and I'll talk a little bit about our partnership with Hybris and then open the floor up for questions. What are the challenges that companies are experiencing around e-commerce payments? These are some of the things that we hear most often from customers. First, they really want to make payments easy, convenient, and fast for customers. There need to be lots of options for customers to make payments, and they want to get that money through fast. Electronic payments, of course, are great for cash flow because that settlement of funds happens within 24 to 48 hours. So we often hear our customers want convenient payment options through e-commerce platforms, via the call center, mobile applications. We also hear with that some ERP payment deficiencies. So any e-com platform that we're working with is linking back to an ERP platform. And again, you want to make sure that that payment, that end-to-end process flows very effectively and efficiently back through the ERP system and through to the general ledger. So we work with customers to make sure that that process works end-to-end, e-commerce to ERP. Just streamlining payments across the enterprise. So most companies have multiple channels where companies or customers are making payments. They want a kind of a one platform and one vendor they can be working with, such as Paymetric, that can secure these payments. So it streamlines the payment design across the enterprise. Reducing costs in accepting payments. Accepting payments can be expensive. There's fees associated with accepting electronic payments. There's fees associated with processing checks as well. So companies are working hard to make sure that they balance that as a cost of doing business. So Paymetric works frequently with customers to determine what types of costs they have now and suggestions for how they can reduce those costs throughout the enterprise. PCI compliance, very, very important, these last two bullet points. Any company that is accepting credit card payments is under the guidelines of PCI, which is payment card industry. So you must be in compliance with PCI. You must be securing the payment card information correctly. And PCI compliance and storing what we call tokens that I'll talk about a little more in our presentation helps reduce the impacts of any security breach that companies may have. So we help to protect that information that may be being entered through your e-commerce platforms into your ERP system. So PCI compliance and the risks of security breaches are also big challenges that companies are facing. So I'm going to play a little video for you about our integration with Hybris and e-commerce. And then we'll get back to discussing some of the Paymetric solutions and how we integrate specifically with Hybris.
Life is good with Paymetric. Today's customers expect to be able to buy anything they want online at any time. But for major enterprises like yours, electronic payments can quickly get complicated. How will you manage global payments in different currencies? What about security? If you change e-commerce platforms, will you have to uproot and switch tokenization solutions too? How is all this going to look at the front end? And how much will it cost? At Paymetric, we asked, what if you could improve customer experience and reach more customers by accepting any payment method from any device? What if you could do this while lowering your total cost of acceptance by eliminating inefficiencies and optimizing interchange rates? What if you could expand into global markets faster without payment complexities and security concerns holding you back? Smarter, faster, easier payments. That's what you get with Paymetric, the only payments engine built for enterprise complexity across all technology platforms. We give you enterprise focus. Paymetric was created exclusively for large enterprises to help companies like yours. Speed up the order-to-cash cycle, lower the cost of acceptance, and improve security at scale. Get a partner with the resources, innovations, and employees focused on enterprise. Make sure your customer's credit card information is never compromised with processor-agnostic tokenization, point-to-point encryption, IVR tokenization, and triggered alerts. Reduce manual processes with automatic payment reconciliation and speed up your time to market by as much as 25%. With Paymetric, you also get enterprise support. When you have questions, our highly experienced teams have answers. Put your trust in the partner with the highest customer retention rate in the industry. Access a full-time in-house, not outsourced support team, 24/7, 365 days a year. Get going quickly with consultative solution design and access to the largest dedicated implementation team in the industry. Finally, we give you enterprise options. You get the freedom to connect with virtually any payment method, any ERP, and any processor. Give your customers seamless payments with pre-built integrations for a broad portfolio of front-end e-commerce systems, including SAP Hybris. Automatically reconcile payments from a variety of locations, including call centers, online, in-store, and mobile apps. Get secure support for hundreds of different payment methods globally, including credit cards, e-checks, direct debits, and alternative payment types like PayPal. At the end of the day, this means you can make it easier for your customers to buy online without making things harder for your company. Get started today so your customers can sell more goods, services, and content through every touchpoint, channel, and device. Go to paymetric.com to learn more or chat with a representative. Join thousands of other companies who trust Paymetric. Life is good with Paymetric.
Okay, to summarize from the video, Paymetric drives fully integrated payments from really any channel. Your e-commerce channel, your ERP channel, any channels coming from a call center. We allow you to accept one-time and recurring electronic payments natively within any of your applications. So recurring payments is something that's becoming more and more popular as subscription-based products and services are rising. So that's something we help facilitate with electronic payment acceptance in that area. We not only have support for credit cards, but also electronic check and different alternative payments. So think PayPal, buy now, pay later type solutions. Accepting payments on the web. Again, this is something that's more and more common with the e-commerce platforms, Hybris being one of our biggest partners on the e-commerce side, that you want to make it easy and fast on a payments checkout page and secure to accept payments on a web e-commerce platform. Going back to some of our ERP solutions, if you're a Hybris customer, you very likely may have an SAP ERP system, although it's not uncommon to also have an alternative back-end ERP system. If you're working within an SAP environment, we do offer a lot of native ERP reporting that can help with the reconciliation of orders coming from the web or any channel. As that information flows through SAP, all of our native ERP reporting is available to our customers. Reconciliation, very important. How do you tie out what is being settled on a daily basis to what is being received by your processor? Many companies do a very manual three-way tie out. We have automated that solution. So even orders coming through the web or any channel that comes through to your ERP platform can go through this reconciliation program and report that can make reconciliation easy and done within a couple minutes each day. You can store payment card tokens on accounts to be used on the web. So if you've got frequent customers that are buying, again, if there's a recurring or subscription-based product or service, tokens as they're generated, and I am going to talk about tokens again, it's a form of security. Those tokens can be stored within your e-com platform and your ERP platform for customers to make it easier for them to use through the process. Level 2 and Level 3 data. If you've not, or if you're not familiar with this terminology, Level 2 and Level 3 data is some additional data that is sent upon credit card settlement that actually can lower your interchange fees, almost in some cases up to 1%. This is a huge savings for a lot of customers. So any customers that are paying with procurement cards, you can send what's called level 2 and level 3 data, and Paymetric helps to implement this through your ERP system or from wherever you're passing your settlement file from. You actually have the ability through Paymetric to do some automatic card updating. So this process comes into play when you have customers that are purchasing either via web or through the ERP system, and they are going into a recurring or subscription-based process. They'll keep their card on file as a token, but as you well know, you're probably getting multiple cards and different cards, monthly or quarterly. Different companies, for various security reasons, are always sending updated cards. Well, rather than having to update all of these new cards with vendors, Paymetric has a service where we keep the information tokenized, we send it out through our processors for updates, and we bring that information back to your system in a tokenized format to be re-updated. So that proactively allows you to get the updated card information for your customers, rather than waiting for the card to decline on a recurring order and then having to call the customer. So it keeps your acceptance rates high and avoids that manual intervention. Fraud scoring services. So another area that customers are focusing on, particularly with the e-commerce platforms, is am I protecting myself against fraud? So we have the ability also to send information out to our fraud scoring services. Again, the card information remains tokenized. So as part of authorization, we can authorize the card and then immediately send it out for a fraud score. We work with several different vendors on fraud scoring. We don't do the fraud scoring ourselves. We simply pass the tokenized data out to these services. Based on the score that comes back from that fraud scoring services, you as the merchant have the ability to decide what to do with that order. You can pass it down to your ERP system and append it. It could be that the fraud score is fine and it goes on its processing, but you have control over how you want to manage those orders from a fraud perspective. So how does everything work? I'm going to start on the left-hand side of the screen here, and you've heard me mention tokenization several times. So the first thing that we always want to do for customers is we want to tokenize the payment card information at the point of entry. And that point of entry can be many, many different channels, e-commerce being one of them, an SAP Hybris platform. It could be an SAP CRM platform, an SAP ECC or ERP platform, the new HANA systems. They can be used in a call center. You could be using an electronic bill presentment platform, Biller Direct, or another electronic bill presentment and payment platform, kiosks. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever the entry site is for the payment card information, the first thing we do is generate a token. And a token is simply a representative value that takes the place of the actual payment card number. So Paymetric actually intercepts the raw card data so that it doesn't hit the source system that it's being entered into. And that's a key PCI compliance challenge that customers have, keeping their card data environment clean. So rather than the raw card data actually hitting the customer system, such as SAP or Hybris, we intercept the data as it's being entered. We bring it into our secure vault here in the middle, and we generate a token. That token is then returned to the SAP Hybris platform, ERP, whatever channel that order is coming into. The token is returned, and then it goes on its way for processing. Paymetric also facilitates the gateway out to the payment processor. So key functions like authorization and settlement are all being controlled by Paymetric. We're passing all that data out to one or many processing partners. We are processor agnostic. We are owned by WorldPay, so we can offer processing services, but we do also have connections to all of the top processors that are out there serving our customers. It's not uncommon to work with multiple processors. Again, we're processor agnostic, so we can connect you to whoever we need to for your processing needs. So authorization would happen next. So once the token's in place, we would facilitate the authorization, so we connect real time out to your processing partner, which is on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll get a response on the authorization. We'll pass that back to the Hybris platform or the ERP platform. Once there is an approval or an acceptance of the card, that order typically in a Hybris environment is then replicated down to an ERP platform, very likely maybe an SAP ERP system. That sales order on the SAP side then will carry the authorization number that was received on the Hybris platform, the token that was generated, all the information is there. It's passed down to the SAP sales order. And then from there, the process runs as it normally would in SAP. Fulfillment happens, invoicing happens. Once invoicing is complete, SAP settlement is run. That's the other key Paymetric integration in this process. So we will be the gateway out to the processor to process settlement files. And then you go right into your reconciliation process. So within 24 to 48 hours, there will be funding into your bank depository account. So again, Paymetric also offers tools for settlement and reconciliation to make sure that you're not doing a long, complicated tie-out process. So that's the basics of how this works. Again, we offer a lot of other products and services that help optimize the process, but at a minimum, we're always doing tokenization first at the point of entry, followed by authorization and settlement. So we've had a long partnership with Hybris. I actually used to manage our Hybris partnership for several years. So our integrations with Hybris are certified. We do keep up to date with Hybris on the new versions of their software that are coming out and any changes they're making to their platform. We stay in communication with them, and we recertify every several years to the new versions that Hybris releases for the commerce platform. So when you think of Hybris, we're going to help streamline the checkout and payment management process. As I mentioned in the previous screen, as customers are entering their payment card information into the Hybris platform, we are intercepting that with what we call a hosted iframe. So our fields are sitting directly behind the fields in Hybris where customers are entering their payment card information. We're taking that and we're generating a token and passing that back to the Hybris platform for then authorization. We've got a certified integration with the Hybris platform, so you can actually get your Hybris integration up and running faster on the payment side. You're not building that integration and security components by yourself. And again, the last bullet point is, again, very important. You always want to ensure your payment security by eliminating storage of sensitive data. So in this scenario, you're never actually having any raw payment card information hit the Hybris platform. It's always going to be coming to Paymetric directly, followed by the return of a token, and that's what's used for processing. So on the SAP side, again, if you're using any other SAP products on the back end, Paymetric is integrated to all of those products. We're certified with all of the new systems, the SAP S/4HANA platform, the ECC platform. As orders are coming in from the Hybris e-commerce platform into SAP, we're also streamlining the payment processing from there. So facilitating, potentially another authorization, settlement. We're streamlining the reporting. We are able to actually provide the capability to accept payments, what we call post-invoicing. So if invoices are already posted to a customer account, we do have transactions that allow call center agents or finance employees to accept a payment over the phone, or if they're working with a customer after an invoice is already generated. So you've got the end-to-end payments from your e-com platform all the way down to your SAP platform. It's completely PCI compliant. We can work with you on reducing interchange fees throughout the entire process, depending on the channels that you're operating in and the cards that you're accepting. Paymetric does work across B2B and B2C transactions. So we realize that with Hybris commerce environments, there are new versions of that support B2C transactions. So we have the ability to work with both. The security components around that are exactly the same from a PCI compliance perspective. So again, using Paymetric as a single platform to streamline and secure your payment acceptance is a good idea. We can help speed up your implementation, reduce your time to market, and the goal is to hopefully lower your overall payment acceptance costs to your organization. And with that, I will wrap this up for today. Thank you for joining the webcast this month, and be sure to join us every month. If you have any questions, contact us at info@paymetric.com or call us on the number you see on the screen here. Thanks again and have a great day, everyone.